Hello, this video is designed to help those who are teaching English 110 for the first time at Shaw University. If you were like me when I started, I'm like, what do I do? Where do I even start? What am I supposed to do? Well, the good news is that we have in Moodle these things called the Professional Learning Community pages, and they're found on Moodle. So we just go back to the Shaw Online. You'll notice that under your courses, you'll have whatever classes you're assigned to teach, but you'll also have these right here. And there is one set up for each of the different main English classes that we teach at Shaw University. So this is the one for English 110. So you click on that. And again, it brings you back here. Yay! Okay, we also call this the shell, the English 110 shell. Just because, why not? Just easier than saying this. Anyway. So, just general heads up about English 110. This is a class that basically all incoming freshmen at Shaw University are assigned to take. Now, there's a few things we have to kind of let you know off the bat before we get to how this is all set up. So I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, okay, to the required elements. And again, it will make sense in a second. So if you're like, what are they even learning in this class? Well, the following are the core concepts being taught in this class. And then there's the list right there. So basically, these are the things right here in the blue now that they are supposed to do and learn and be able to really sort of master before they move on to English 111. Okay? Now, in order to do that, there are certain things that are required that every single instructor must do for English 110. But we don't micromanage everything. So there are things you are required to do to help them achieve these things, but there are other things that you can kind of pick on your own. So, for example, not for a good example, but for this page then, it's broken up into two parts. The required elements that all instructors must use. Certain things you absolutely have to do for English 110. Certain assignments you have to use and such like that. Okay? And then we do have some suggested assignments, resources, quizzes and such, which you can use for the class, which other people have already created, and you are certainly free to use them. The idea here is that we allow teachers to have the ability to play on their strengths. So every teacher is a little different, so we don't want to, really, like I said, micromanage every single aspect of the class. Okay, so keeping that in mind, so let's look at the required elements again. So those, if you look over here, you can see kind of what's going on. So let's just go to do the required elements. So again, these are the required elements that you must have for this class. Again, we talked about the things that they're supposed to learn. Okay, they all know about that. So to achieve these standards, here are the following elements that have to be done in every single course. Now, Shaw University has a standard syllabus. Okay, the syllabus is the same for every single class. The only differences on each syllabus is the instructor's name, class location, and such. And that'll be posted here on the shell. Wow, how cool is that? So if you click on this, it'll download the Word document. Let that load for a second. Okay, so not only do we say, hey, this is what you have to do, but we kind of give you the stuff that you need to do. Isn't that cool? And we'll talk about that more in just a second. So the first thing is the syllabus. Okay, and here it is. Now, for the syllabus, everything is already set up for you. Okay, what you'll just need to change is anything. Okay, so I said usually in the past I say change everything that's in red, but kind of Shaw University is written in red, so we don't want to change that. Yeah. Anyway, so change. Okay, so you put whatever section number it is, the class time that depends on that particular class, and the location. Again, that's already been assigned to you, and then you just fill in your information here. Okay. So again, your name, your office hours, your telephone, and your email. Okay. So you are required to have 10 office hours per week, and they, as I understand it, they like to have you have at least 1 hour per day. That doesn't mean that you can just do all 10 hours on Monday. They don't have any office hours the rest of the week. But really check with your boss to make sure how that is going to work out. But the rest of the syllabus is already basically set up for you. You don't really need to do anything else, and it kind of explains what's going on, so you can read through it to understand more about the class. Now, please note that here's the way the grade evaluation is done. Attendance, so you have the different weightings that are set up here. This has been, again, this is standardized throughout all of the English 110 classes. You have to have all these categories, and these weightings. You cannot change those. Now, what goes into these particular categories is really kind of up to you with a few minor exceptions. Also, please note that this is the grading scale that Shaw uses. You don't get to arbitrarily decide, well, I'll make 93 and above an A. No, that's not your decision to make. That is not it's set by the school as 90 to 100. Yeah, there is no minuses or pluses either. Just a note about the attendance policy. I'm going to be very careful here, and I'm just going to let you read this part right here. Students who exceed the maximum number of absences may receive a failing grade for the course. Yeah, may. It's up to you as the professor. Maybe talk to some of your coworkers to see the best way to handle that. Okay, so let's go back to the show. Okay, so there's your syllabus. So you have to have that. Okay, so all you do is download the template, put your information for that particular class, and then you would use that for your class that you're making. Okay, great. What else? Okay, well, you have to give an essay. So what basically, as I said earlier on, every single student that comes to Shaw University as an incoming freshman is assigned to go to English 110. English 110 is designed to get students up to speed as a refresher course, really, to go over grammar and then basically how to write essays. Excuse me as I take a little drink there. Some students are already way beyond that, and they really don't need to take English 110. However, it's been our experience that those students are few and far between. So to make it in a way for us to figure this out, so on the very first day of class, before you introduce yourself, the class, or anything like that, you have them come in and you have them sit down and take an essay. Seriously. Okay? And the essay is right here. It is basically the same. It's a 5-paragraph essay, and it uses the same prompts that they use for the assessment tool at the end of the semester, which you'll learn more about in a second or later on in this class. The idea here is that you just give, you give them the prompts. You can either post it up on the screen or something like that, and they just write for the course, for the class time. You collect those papers, and then you will. You don't have to grade them like, as far as, grammar, you're going to hand back to the students. This isn't even part of their grade. It's just for you to look at it and say, wow, is there any student here that just absolutely is way beyond just basic grammar and writing essays? If they understand how to do a 5-paragraph essay and their vocabulary is strong and their grammar is strong, then you would recommend them to move to English 111. And that's something that you would do one-on-one. I would not suggest that you start off the class saying, well, if you do well on this, we're going to move you to 111. Don't say that, because we want students to feel successful. And we don't want them to feel like they already are bad because they were being put into this class. Okay, and you can read through this more on that. But that is required in the first day class. Okay, what else is required? A standard pretest and post-test. Okay, now English 110 works hand in hand with the Writing Center as far as our QEP, which is our Quality Enhancement Plan. That's more complicated than I'm going to get into in this thing, but you will work, and the pretest is right here. The pretest, there's two of them. There's a grammar pretest and a written pretest. Okay, and these are done in conjunction with the Writing Center. Basically, when the semester starts, you will be contacted by the Writing Center, or someone will help you out, and we will figure out time for your classes to go to the Writing Center to take these pretests, or somewhere else, depending on how many classes we have. This is designed for us to see the growth from the students from beginning to end. Okay, so more on this, but again, this pretest and this whatever, these will not be put on by you per se. You will get more direction on doing this. I just posted the grammar pretest and the written pretest for you to see what they are. Okay, but you are required to give every student this grammar pretest and post-test, pretest rather, and you'll give them the same thing at the end of the semester to see their growth. That's required. Okay, and then last but not least is Writing Project 3. So if you go back to the syllabus, you'll notice that class is broken up into 3 major writing projects. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Writing Project 1 is really designed to help them write the professional emails, which is one of the goals for the class. Writing Project 2 is designed to introduce the 5-paragraph essay, all the different elements of it and stuff like this. Writing Project 3 is to give them different prompts and have them write another 5-paragraph essay. That 5-paragraph essay for Writing Project 3 has to be done exactly the same as all across the board, okay? And it's right here, okay? So every single student in every single English 110 class needs to do the same assignment, and this should be done towards the end of the semester. This is the assessment tool, so we see how well they did. on this particular assignment. So you're working your way up to having them do well on this. Now, for this class, you will use something called Turnitin. If you're not familiar with Turnitin, it is a program that allows students to submit their work electronically through the Moodle shell, which is the Moodle shell for each class. And it's huge, okay, because Turnitin does 3 major things for you. It makes it easier to grade. It keeps a copy, so you know for sure that they have submitted it, and they can't say, well, you gave it to me, you lost it. No, that doesn't work that way. And it also comes with a plagiarism check. In addition, you can import what you, and you'll have to create the Turnitin assignment in Moodle, which you'll be given a video to show how that works. But what this thing right here is that every single Writing Project 3 has to be graded the same way. So the rubrics are consistent across every English 1 to 10 class. The rubric is right here, and you would just import that in to Turnitin. So again, the resources are here. You cannot just open this up and see what the rubric is. You'll have to import it to Turnitin, which again will be demonstrated in another video. Okay, but so those are the required elements. So every student must do these things in English 110. Now, to make things even easier, we do have well, Writing Project 1. You're like, well, what should I do? Well, we already have a Writing Project 1 set up for you that you could use. Okay, and same with Writing Project 2. That one's already set up and used. Okay. And there's a bunch of quizzes you can just download and import into your shells. Look at that. And then they do have a final portfolio they're supposed to create. And so there is, you can use this. Now, if you want to tweak them a little bit and stuff like that, feel free to do so. But the goal here is not to have everyone create a whole lot of work, because you're going to have plenty to do as it is. So these have already been created. In addition, our book for this class, in case you haven't caught this yet, is Pearson Writer. It's actually an online application. It's not a physical book, and you'll learn more about that. But basically, students, what I've done is that I've found it's something they can access on their phone. So once they get Pearson Writer, they would just click on this, and it would take them right to the reading for Pearson Writer. So instead of saying read chapter 1, you can have them just read sections that deal with particular things. So again, a big part of this class is grammar, so these readings help with that. Okay. Alrighty, so there's that, and then there's some other helpful videos. Again, here's a little video on Pearson Writer as an overview, how to use Pearson Writer in Microsoft Word. So again, once you're going to get to that point, students will be able to make writing center appointments. You'll learn more about this, and so these videos kind of help you with that. Oh, a nice little video show how to format a paper in MLA. Well, isn't that nice? Little video here, or a link that takes you to Pearson Writer, and there's some other resources here that's full of videos that can also help you. Again, so just a ton of stuff on here to use. Some other items, I did create a practice final, because the final for this class is the students write an essay, and then they have like a 32-question grammar quiz. And the practice final has the same types of questions that are on the final. So you can kind of go through it and see what they kind of need to learn. And then last but not least, which you found this because, is the resources for new instructors. Okay? So you're watching this video right now, and then there's a whole bunch of videos that I'm still making more that'll help you kind of get things going, like setting up your gradebook and setting up Moodle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so anyway, so that's the goal for this. So next thing is to start watching some other videos to how to set up your class. And yeah, you can do this. It's been done by other students and professors and whatever, and you can do it too. All right, so best of success to you.